What is going on, everybody? Welcome into another episode. Big shout out to the people that are currently in the chat. Today, we are going to obviously have a post-game show dealing with obviously the Arizona Cardinals versus the 49ers. But most of all, what I really want to do is I want to kind of open up the phone lines and kind of get a gauge on how Cardinal fans are feeling right now. I was able to kind of chime into the kind of getting to the social world. And I kind of see a lot of Cardinal fans right now split in this whole situation that we're dealing with right now. Right now, big shout out here to the sponsors of the AZ Sports Fan this year. Obviously, Underdog Fantasy. If you do love sports betting, Underdog Fantasy is the way to go, especially if you love daily fantasy. It's a place to go. That's where I like to play. They also have a pick'em game right now. If you do go ahead and download the app, use promo code AZSF and get your initial deposit matched up to $100, as well as FOCO as well. And you can get 10% off of any Arizona Cardinal merch, memorabilia, anything you want Cardinals related, shorts, shirts, glasses, anything like that. Visit foco.com. Everything will be in the description below if you are interested. Now, I get it. People probably don't want to buy anything Arizona Cardinals right now, and that's completely fine. So let's dive into it, y'all. So we're going to open up the phone lines a little later on. I just kind of want to give you my spiel, and, we're going to open it up. I'm not sure how long we're going to be going live. I honestly, I can tell there's not very many people that are even want to talk about the Arizona Cardinals, obviously, right? Right now, we are a 3-1, we're a 3-11 team. I don't think a lot of Cardinal fans truly thought that the Cardinals were going to win this game, and I didn't either, right? I didn't think the Arizona Cardinals were going to come out here and upset the world and, have this magnificent glory thing. No, that was never in my mind, right? Now, big shout out here to Trey McBride for obviously breaking a record within the franchise. Good for him. But at the end of the day, just like he said it, he doesn't care about it, right? Should you care? Sure. I mean, that's up to you, right? That's your prerogative if you care about that type of stuff. Cool, right? Moral victories, cool. Yay, whatever. To me, it's cool. But I mean, at the end of the day, what's more important to me is how this Arizona Cardinal team is looking towards the end part of the season. And I've seen a lot of people's comments already. I made a post-game reaction, and I have a lot of people kind of, already, I'm not going to say ripping me, but kind of. But also there's other people where they're like, you're too positive or you're too negative, right? You can never satisfy the masses. If you don't agree with a specific opinion of somebody, then you're automatically the bad guy. And that's fine, right? With what you do or what I do, I understand that. But I kind of wanted to kind of get into a mediation section here, and that's why we're doing this live stream of really trying to get down to the nitty gritty and why Cardinal fans truly feel snake bitten, why they truly feel upset right now. I don't think Cardinal fans are coming out here and saying this Cardinal organization or this Cardinal team should be Super Bowl bound. No, I don't think anybody's saying that. And hear me well, when nobody is saying that at all. Right. And I don't think anybody expected Kyler Murray to come on a 7-game, 6-game, 5-game winning streak and take it to the playoffs. No, nobody's expecting that at all. But here's the truth of the scenario here, ladies and gentlemen. What we're dealing with right now is that we are in a very, very particular situation in what are the Arizona Cardinals going to do for the future, right? We obviously know that we're not a playoff team, obviously, right? We're 3-11, right? There's no sugarcoating in what we are. We've heard these the players that are within this organization basically feel the same way that I feel, right? As a fan. Kyler Murray's come out and multiple press conferences, multiple post-game reactions and saying that he's not happy with his play, right? He needs to get better. He needs to do this. He needs to do that, right? But the moment somebody else says it, right, like as a fan, oh my God, you're wrong because A, B, and C. The elephant in the room, ladies and gentlemen, is that yes, this roster is not suitable for a playoff team or a playoff run, and I'm fully aware of that. But expectations for a franchise quarterback and being that you're paying a franchise quarterback should be being competitive, right? Or keeping us in games. That's what expectations of a franchise quarterback should be. It shouldn't be the situation where, oh, we got no weapons. Well, obviously we got no weapons. That's exactly what I was clamoring about in the offseason, right? That's exactly what I was clamoring about in the offseason. But no, nobody paid attention to that because everybody was like, oh, we're rebuilding. What we're going to do is we're rebuilding. But now the excuses are coming around and turning around. And now the excuses are here, right? I was clamoring about why aren't we giving weapons to our franchise quarterback? Because he's going to come back eventually, right? Well, why are we setting him out to fail? Right? Because yes, Kyler Murray is being set out to fail. Absolutely. You're coming out here with a Zach Pascal that, let's be honest, Zach Pascal is nothing. Let's call it like it is. We got a rookie wide receiver, Michael Wilson, which I really truly like, but he didn't do anything today, right? We have Marquise Hollywood Brown, which bless his heart for coming out here and really trying to, play through this game. But in the grand scheme of things, he wasn't effective because he's still hurt, right? This whole situation is a vicious circle just going over and over again, right? We set Kyler Murray out to fail because of what we didn't do in the offseason, right? But expectations should still be you're still a franchise quarterback regardless, or at least you're getting paid as a franchise quarterback. You should be able to keep us in games. That is your job. Keep us in game. Don't get us embarrassed. That's your job, right? No, I get it. Our weapons don't look good. Trey McBride is looking to be one of the best tight ends that I've seen in an Arizona Cardinal uniform. Great young talent. And I'm so excited about the future of Trey McBride. But we cannot ignore the elephant in the room, ladies and gentlemen. And that is that Kyler Murray has not looked great. Not even good to me. I don't think he's looked good. I think he's looked okay. I think he's looked fine, right? Especially in that Steelers game, I ended up coming out and saying, well, he didn't need to have a good game because James Conner was the guy, right? Obviously, wins cure things. And, when you lose, you're being put under a microscope and blah, 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 right? Kyler Murray's not looking good to me. I don't know if he's still learning the offense. I'm not sure if he's just uncertain about himself. I'm not sure if he's having trouble seeing over the line when he is playing under center. And this is not a shot, right? We're not joking here. We're literally having a conversation about, I'm truly worried about the progression of Kyler Murray. Truly. Kyler Murray's stats right now for the 5 games is 1,075 passing yards, 4 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Now I get it. Yes, he's got rushing touchdowns. Okay, I'm fully aware of that. He's got rushing touchdowns. But right now, when Kyler Murray has come back in 2023, his stats are 1,075 passing yards, 4 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. He averages what? 205, 210, 15 yards a game, right? It's kind of what we're dealing with. Kyler Murray doesn't look good consistently. He's looked good here and there, but not consistently. And this is what I'm trying to address. This game, I did not think we were going to win. And if you didn't watch my videos, then okay, whatever. I'll let you know. I never said that the Arizona Cardinals were going to beat the San Francisco 49ers. Am I happy that the Cardinals put up 29 points against the San Francisco 49ers? I mean, yeah, I guess, right? But Kyler Murray's only placed 7 points. 7 points on the San Francisco 49ers. 7 points. Because the rest of the points came from Matt Prater And yes, okay, give the touchdown to Kyler Murray in garbage time. You know, if you guys been rocking with this channel for quite some time, I do not acknowledge garbage time touchdowns. I don't acknowledge it because what's the point? This defense isn't really giving you your full effort. This defense isn't coming out here and saying, "Oh yeah, we're gonna stop you." No, they're coming out here putting their second, third stringers. They're like, "All right, have fun. Yeah, you're not gonna win this game. It is what it is, right?" And we've seen 2 games so far. 2 games with Kyler Murray putting garbage touchdowns on, right? Now, granted, yes, they're on the stats. It is what it is. But in the grand scheme of things, I'm worried. I'm worried about what are the Arizona Cardinals going to do moving forward because I've already heard it. I've already heard it from multiple different Cardinal fans, and I've heard the reason for keep Kyler, and I've heard the reason for get rid of Kyler, right? And I don't know what to do personally. Personally, I don't. All I know as a Cardinal fan is I'm not liking what I'm seeing from Kyler Murray on a consistent basis. It's as simple as that, right? His job in this 8-game stretch was to have himself being evaluated, right? That's what the Cardinals told us. This is an evaluation process for Kyler Murray. Let's call it like it is, ladies and gentlemen. I truly think that Kyler Murray was still in this game. Now, Jonathan Gannon ended up addressing this. I think the media ended up asking him or something along the lines of, did you consider removing Kyler Murray because you guys were down so bad? And, Jonathan Gannon said he wants to build a culture and, it's very important for the idea that, he gets the guys with the right mindset of, oh, we're going to win this game. You're not going to win this game. This game was so out of reach. It was so out of reach. It's not even funny how out of reach this game was for the Arizona Cardinals. So we risk Kyler Murray's health, and then we're just padding stats at that very moment, right? We're making it look better. Because I kid you not, I've heard multiple Cardinal fans say this. And tell me if you're one of those Cardinal fans. And if you are, cool, no worries. But I've heard multiple Cardinal fans say this. Well, at least we scored more points than the Cowboys and the Eagles against the San Francisco 49ers. That's what they said. At least we scored more points than the Cowboys and the Eagles. And we're not acknowledging here that the 7 points that came out, right, that the 7 points shouldn't have counted, right? We're not acknowledging the fact that Kyler Murray has only scored 7 points in a competitive part of the game because all other points, with the exception of that garbage touchdown, came from Matt Prater. Kyler Murray has not looked, and it's not just this game. People like to think that, oh, how are you going to beat the San Francisco 49ers, Mike? Why are you so blah, 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 blah? Because I don't think about one game. I think about the collective of the entirety of the season, ladies and gentlemen, the entirety of the season. Now, granted, against the Steelers, Kyler Murray was 13 of 23, 145, 1 touchdown. Not great. Against the Rams, 27 to 45, 256 yards, 1 touchdown. I believe that's where the garbage touchdown ended up coming out, if I'm not mistaken. Against the what's it called? The Houston Texans, 20 for 30, 214 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. First game he came back, 19 for 32, 249 yards, 1 interception, no touchdowns. Now, granted, yes, like I said, there is rushing touchdowns, and I'm fully aware of that. But to me, what I hope that the Arizona Cardinals actually do is truly evaluate here. Is truly evaluate, because these moral victories aren't going to get you anywhere other than what we said with Cliff Kingsbury when we went to the playoffs. Oh, we went to the playoffs, and guess what happened? We wasted another year. We should have fired Cliff Kingsbury in that year, and we should have started back over, whatever it took. Right? Where at least we had a competitive team, so maybe we would have been better than we were. Who knows? Right? This is what I fear might happen again. If we do stick with Kyler, this is what I fear might happen again. Now, I get it. A lot of people have claimed multiple different times, you're like Chicken Little, right? The sky is falling. Well, here's the reason why I do what I do. Because the way my mind works is I think ahead. I don't think of, oh, just this next year, right? I think of what can I do to prevent a disaster from happening. That's the way my mind works. What can I do to prevent a disaster from happening? So If we do rock with Kyler Murray, okay, that's cool. Let's see what he can do. But I fear that we're going to go right back in it again because, and then the excuses will continue to do. Oh, we're still rebuilding. We're still rebuilding, Mike. We're still rebuilding. I'm tired of the excuses. The people that are upset right now, it's not because of this game. It's not because of last game. It's not because of this year. It's because this organization cannot get it right. This is why the people are upset. They're not mad of this game. They're not mad of last game. They're not mad of 4 games ago. They're mad of this organization cannot get it right. That's why they're pissed. And this is what I'm not calling to call you guys delusional because there's okay positivity fans out there, right? The positive fans out there. Oh, why are you so negative? Well, because we've gone through it year in and year out and year in and year out, and it's the same things over and over and over again. This is why the people are upset. Now, yes, when you're upset, you point your finger to the guy that's the closest to you, right? And of course, right now, the person that's going to get blamed is Kyler Murray. And this is what people aren't understanding. They're not understanding that we're not mad at this game. We're mad at this organization that cannot get it right. And we've been strung along for years and years, and we've seen multiple players that should have been retained in this organization that didn't get retained and flourished somewhere else. That's why we're so darn upset. When fans feel like we make smarter decisions than the people making decisions, that's when you have a problem. That's when you have a problem. Now, granted, right now, yes, the finger's being pointed to Kyler Murray, as it should be, because he's the franchise quarterback. Just like we made the excuses and said, well, Kyler Murray can't flourish because of Cliff Kingsbury. Okay, well, guess what? We got rid of Cliff Kingsbury, right? The poison's gone. We got rid of Steve Keim. Well, why are we continuing to have this disaster happen? Why? Are you telling me right now that the Colts and the Arizona Cardinals organization do not have similar to the same roster? Tell me right now, where is the Colts better than the Arizona Cardinals? Where? Head coach? Wide receiver? Quarterback? Where? Where is the Colts better than the Arizona Cardinals? Now, let me give you another kicker. The Texans. Tell me where the Texans are better than the Arizona Cardinals because they just won a game with Case Keenum. This is what I'm trying to get across to people. And I'm talking to people that are automatically saying, oh, I'm negative Nancy. You know what I mean? This is the reason for it. And I hope it makes sense. And if it doesn't, okay, then we will never be able to have a conversation because if you're not understanding what I'm saying, then we'll never be able to have a conversation, right? We did not expect the win in this game. The frustration comes from deeper. The frustration comes from a deeper rooted issue that if you do not feel that same deep rooted issue, couple different things. A, you watch games and you don't care about the result, right? You're just like, okay, cool, that was fun, right? That pass was cool. Or B, you just started watching the Arizona Cardinals 3 or 4 years ago. It's the only thing I could say, right? Maybe those are the two things. And that's the case, that's not a bad thing. But please do not discredit the fact that people are actually feeling absolutely pissed off because this organization is doing the same thing over and over again. We are competitive in 1 or 2 years, and then we rebuild for 5 or 6 years because we can't get it right. We cannot get it right. With the decisions that we do, we can't get it right. We kept Cliff Kingsbury because we said progression. That's why we keep Cliff Kingsbury, right? And everybody was sold. Everybody, not everybody. Obviously, I wasn't because I read through the crap. Cliff Kingsbury will not get us a Super Bowl. And now I'm doubting that Kyler Murray will ever be able to get us a Super Bowl. His durability is number one, super scary to me. The moment I saw him go into the tent, I was like, oh boy, here we go again. Now, when they showed what happened, obviously he got hit in the private parts. He didn't want to go into the tent, right? He didn't want to. So that's cool. That shows a willingness to tough it out and go back out there and try to play for his team, right? That's cool. I'll give him kudos. I'll give him his flowers for that. That's awesome. But I'm not going to lie to you. His durability freaks me the living heck out. I'm liking what I'm seeing from this offense pertaining to the idea that we're having different formations out there. But Kyler Murray did not target Marquise Hollywood Brown, didn't target Michael Wilson. I mean, probably later on, but I could almost be certain that in the first half, there probably wasn't any targets, and there probably was, but receptions. Let's call it receptions because I actually don't have it here in front of me. But it's crazy to me that the only weapon that Kyler Murray feels confident and comfortable with is Trey McBride. Now, granted, yes, Trey McBride is a beast and he's wonderful, but man, what is it? Is the wide receiving core just absolutely suckish? Right? Are they just that bad? Yes, Hollywood Brown is dealing with the heel injury, but you're sitting here and telling me right now in this game, if we look at the stats for the receivers, we got Elijah Higgins, which is another tight end, 4 receptions, 44 yards. Jeff Swaim, 1 reception, 26 yards. And then we got Greg Dortch, the smallest statured wide receiver we have on our roster, 2 receptions, 15 yards. And then Rondo Moore, 2 receptions, 5 yards. Zach Pascal, goose egg. Michael Wilson, goose egg. When is enough? When do the excuses stop? When are we going to get it right? Now, I'm not sitting out here and saying, oh, we're going to get a rookie quarterback right and it's going to solve everything. No, I don't know. I don't know if it's going to solve it all. I just want this person who's hired to get this right. I don't want Kyler Murray to feel like this is his job. I don't want Kyler Murray to feel like he can't do anything wrong, because with what he's putting out on the field, if I was the GM, I would have some serious concerns. I'm not going to lie to you. The way this offense is executed, the decision-making, the targeting on one specific person and not shedding the ball elsewhere. Now, granted, I didn't look at the film. I don't know if anybody was open. I'm not sure if Kyler Murray can't see. I don't know. I don't know. We're just hoping that this regime can get it right. And why I wanted to do this live stream is to make sure that it's very, very apparent and very, very clear and concise and why people are upset. They're not upset because of this loss. It's that this organization cannot get it right. And it's the same things over and over and over and over again. And we love to hang on to moral victories. Every single year it's the same thing. Every single year it's the same thing. Every single year. Kyler Murray is in year 5, ladies and 5. He's not year 2, not year 3. Kyler Murray is in year 5. You're telling me that he can't elevate an offense? Isn't that concerning? When you got CJ Stroud, rookie from Houston, elevating an offense, and I know somebody in the chat's going to be like, well, he's got Tank Dell. Who would have thought Tank Dell was going to turn out the way that he was going to turn out? Who? Nobody put Tank Dell in their first round mocks. Nobody did. Nobody did. So don't come out here and tell me that, oh, he's got weapons. Does he? Does he, though? Nico Collins? Who? Right? And I'm not trying to be disrespectful to the guys that are over there. Kudos to what they're doing. But in the grand scheme of things here, ladies and gentlemen, I'm looking at a Colts organization with the brand new head coach in Shane Steichen, and they're talking playoffs over there. And then we're talking about a Texans organization that doesn't have their rookie quarterback. They're playing with Case freaking Keenum, and they got to win. So where is it? Where is it? What's the problem? What's going on? Why can't Kyler Murray have a fantastic game and just lose by 3 points because the San Francisco 49ers are a fantastic team and they find a way to win? Or maybe not this game, right? Maybe the Houston game, right? Maybe the Houston game. You know what I mean? So not just this game. But I'm saying, can we just keep these games close enough to not have doubt? The doubt is here, ladies and gentlemen. And if you're not seeing it, this is the problem. This is the problem in the organization. And hear me well when I say this. There's a reason why there was multiple people tell me that I was absolutely crazy out of my mind. The reason why I wanted Cliff Kingsbury fired when we got booted out of the playoffs. This is the same people. Because those people cannot make the tough decisions to do right by this organization. Because of why? Because they're not that type of people. They want to be positive. They want to held their hat. They want to talk about a franchise record being done by our tight end, which our tight end doesn't care. Trey McBride said, cool, okay. Cool, whatever. I really want to win. That's what fans don't get. Especially the fans who are like, we're tanking for Marvin Harrison Jr. These players do not want to tank. They don't care about your stupid 3rd overall pick. They don't care about your stupid 4th overall pick. These players and these coaches want to win. Because why? Because it's their jobs. They're fighting for their jobs. They're fighting for their families. They're fighting to pay their bills to stay in this NFL. Not for long league. I don't understand where these people come and say, oh, it's fine to lose. Okay. Same losing mentality over and over and over and over and over again. Same losing mentality. And it sickens me. Absolutely sickens me. I'm not mad at this loss. We lost. Okay, whatever. What sickens me is that we're going back in the same circle over and over again. And we cannot get out of it. Because why? Because we don't have a fan base that gives 2 Fs. Let's open up the phone lines, ladies and gentlemen. Let's open up the phone lines. I want to hear from you guys. I'm going to go ahead and put a link here in the chat. Come on through. Let me know how you guys are feeling. And tell me how you feel about this game, about the season, about anything. Here's your time. Link has been posted here in the chat. Click on the link, come on through, and let us know how you're feeling about, obviously, the Arizona Cardinals and the state of where we are at right now. Link has been posted. And let's see how we're feeling. All right, perfect. We got somebody here. We got Felipe. Felipe, you were live on the AZ Sports Fan here on YouTube. Talk to me, brother. How you feeling?
Hey guys, hold on just a sec. Hello, I went to the game today, and I just want to say, you know, we we lack talent. We lack talent. K1 looked disconnected with his wide receivers,
Yep.
and he also needs to be better protected, in my opinion. I mean, it's disappointed because it looks like it's always like 1, 2, 3 plays that make the difference
Yep.
between not looking so bad on the field and have a better performance and even maybe win the game. I don't know, but we need to get help in at corner, at wide receiver, and protect K1. Also, I don't know if you saw Mike, but almost at the end there was one play where K1 was hit, and I loved how Will Hernandez came and just pushed the. I didn't see who that was from the 49ers team, but he pushed him and he basically defended K1. So I love that because that means that the offensive line is taking care of him and they're having a connection there. And I also love Will Hernandez. I don't know.
Yeah.
What is your intake in that?
I like Will Hernandez too. Obviously, I'm a Hispanic as well, so anything that we're kind of, he's just cool overall. I mean, I don't think he's that great, but I think he's solid. I think he's solid. Let me ask you a question here. I think we all can agree that our talent level to the 49ers, nowhere near, right? They're night and day better than the Arizona Cardinals are. Let me ask you, what have you seen from Kyler Murray in this 5-game sample size that you are confident about rolling with him for the future?
Look, I love Kyler Murray, but I will stick with him. I love him. I love how he plays. The wide receivers are not helping. Okay. So you can make your case in on the fact that we need to change the QB. But honestly, I think that if we can help him, he can be much much better, because when you see the 49ers team on the field, and you see how we were playing as a team. Oh, we were, they are so good at every level. And but I will stick with K1 just
Okay.
to answer the question, because I think we just need to get him the help that he deserves, actually.
Okay. Perfect. All right, Felipe, I'll let you go, man. Appreciate you, brother. Later, man.
Thank you for having.
All right, let's keep it going here. Let's go to Dan. Dan T, you are live on the Easy Sports Fan here on YouTube. Talk to me, man. How you feeling?
Hey, man. Hey, not bad. How are you?
Not bad. Can't complain.
Yeah, well, game was what it was. I haven't expected to win this year, but I want to see where people are. And I've been criticized. I've been criticized for over a year for my criticism of Kyler Murray. I see that, his ability to read a defense. I mean, that first interception, that pick six.
Yeah.
I mean, if he throws that ball earlier, that's a completion for a first down. He did not. He didn't see the cornerback coming over, and he knew the play route. He knew the route tree. He knew that there wasn't going to be wide receivers over on the right side to hold that corner over to the right side. That he was going to have to deliver that ball early. You know the route tree,
right?
But you deliver the ball late. Pick six. The second pick, you know what? It may have been miscommunication between him and Pascal. I don't know. But I mean, it's just here's the thing. Are we going to keep saying, well, if we put talent around him? Because last year it was the coaches. The coaches, he needs better coaching. Even when he had DeAndre Hopkins, well, the coaching sucks. He needs better coaching. Well, now this year it's, the wide receiver sucks. The coaching is good, but the wide receivers suck. Even though we've had, Patrick Mahomes got the worst wide receiver core he's ever had.
This is true.
And it's still a playoff team.
It's true.
No,
you're right. Yeah.
Tom Brady never, and other than Randy Moss, ever had Pro Bowl receivers. Ever. He made it work with Jacoby Myers. And I'm not trying to compare Kyler to Tom Brady, but a franchise quarterback makes the players around him better.
I agree with that. I agree.
If there's less talent at wide receiver, they make those less talented wide receivers better. And that first caller, I'm glad he's a Cardinals fan, and welcome. I'm glad for all Cardinals fans, but that's the problem with a lot of this fan base is they're Kyler fans and they don't want to look at where the issues with Kyler are. Is this the greatest receiving core? No, but it's. I wouldn't say it's the worst.
Yeah.
I
do agree with you in terms of like the franchise quarterback does need to elevate, and that's something that we haven't seen. Because like CJ Stroud, like people are going to come out here and say, "Oh, they have Tank Dell." Nobody would have talked about Tank Dell before they even saw what he can do. Nobody was talking about Nico Collins. CJ Stroud made them that.
Right. Exactly. No, I 100% agree. I mean, and Brock Purdy, he's got a lot of talent. He's got a lot of talent around him. But I mean, the team wasn't this good with Jimmy Garoppolo with the same talent.
Sure. Ding, ding, ding. Yeah, ding.
So I mean, and this is my thing is like, yeah, okay, we keep Kyler Murray, give him another year with more talent, and he's just putting up the same numbers, and we don't make the playoffs, and then we have to start over with a quarterback again. So when do we push that button to say it's time to start over with a new quarterback? At some point you have to hit the eject button.
Well, here's the thing too, like with where we are at right now, I believe we're still in the third overall. I haven't checked actually. I'm assuming we're still in the third overall, but like if you're expecting to be good with Kyler Murray or at least mediocre, you're not going to be in a position to get a quarterback, right? If that's what the Cardinals decide to do. So it's like, it's one of those things where you really got to decide if you're going to or you're not. And if the Cardinals roll with Kyler, that's cool. But like, I'm fearing it. I'm not going to lie to you. The durability worries me. And I like that he's actually willing to learn. You could tell Kyler Murray is a different person, like in terms of maturity.
Right.
He's doing everything that this coaching staff wants him to do. To me, I don't know. Do you think he fears that he might get the boot?
I don't know. I know I agree with you. I've said all year I see the maturity change in him. He's a different Kyler Murray. I just don't see the skill set changing. And that's the problem. The numbers are the same. He hasn't been. I mean, people keep going back to he's a former MVP front runner and 2-time Pro Bowler and Rookie of the Year, but that he hasn't looked like that since the end of 2021, or since the middle of 2021. The second half of 2021, he's looked like he looks now, other than a couple of games. I mean, you could point to a couple of games, the Atlanta game or the Vegas game last year. You could point to a couple of games where he looked like the old Kyler Murray. But other than that, there's been more of this Kyler Murray we saw today than there has been the previous Kyler Murray.
Yeah. All right, Dan, I'm going to let you go, brother. I'm going to get to these other callers. Thank you so very much, man. Peace.
Appreciate it, bud.
All right. Appreciate Saijan here with the super chat. Appreciate everything you do, bro. Thanks, man. Thank you so very much for the $5 dono. Let's go to AZ Sports Girl. You are live on the AZ Sports Fan on YouTube. Talk to me. How you feeling? You there? Think you might be muted.
Can you hear me?
There you are.
Hey, okay, so I'm gonna come right out and say it. I'm a K1 supporter all the way. I got the jersey, I got the shirt and everything. But Kyler was concerning this game because the fact that he didn't really make that many passes to his wide receivers is very concerning. Kind of like what I said on your video about Marquise Hollywood Brown.
Mm-hmm.
I think that there might be something going on behind the scenes with the two of them that is kind of getting hidden away from us. And I'm sorry if there's anybody in the chat that's a Marquise Hollywood Brown fan. I'm sorry, but the guy's got to go. I'm sorry. He's injury prone and just looks like he's lost it. I'm sorry, but he's got to go.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the problem is that he's expecting a contract that can really take a big hit to our cap. That's the problem. If he wasn't under contract, I have no problem with keeping him, right? But the issue is that he's a contract year for him. I would rather allocate that money to a T. Higgins or a Michael Pittman if they're available, personally.
Oh, T. Higgins.
Yeah.
I'm T. Higgins fan.
Yeah.
But yeah, I want to keep Kyler, but the fact that he looks out there, he looked like he was losing trust in his wide receivers is concerning. And I don't know if anybody listened to the game on the radio today with like Ron and Wolfley, but Wolfley made a great point about the offense. During the offseason, Monty needs to start making some changes with wide receiver because like what you said on your post game, keep Michael Wilson. He's great. I love the guy. Marco Wilson, I have mixed opinions about him. But Hollywood, I'm not impressed. I'm sorry. I'm not impressed.
Yeah. There needs to be an overhaul for sure. Is there something that I'm going to ask you the same question as because you are a K1 supporter, and that's fine. I am too. But what have you seen from Kyler Murray so far in these 5 games that gives you a little, this is what I want to see? Like, what's that one thing?
Better consistency.
Okay.
I just for one game, I just want to see good consistency out of him because the Steelers game he did good, and then what was the game before that? The Rams, I think.
We got obliterated.
And then that with the Rams, I just want to see good consistency out of him. Yeah. I'm tired of seeing the same thing every single Sunday. That's all I want. Just good consistency.
It's weird that we can score a touchdown in the first drive like it's nothing, and this offense seems like it's clicking. But after that, it just unravels, and it just looks so lethargic. It just looks such a bad offense. Do you agree? It's just so weird.
Yeah, it's weird. And like I said this on Twitter. I'm like, I feel like every weekend Prater's carrying this team.
Yeah.
Like I love Prater to death. I voted for him to go to the Pro Bowl, but I want to see more touchdowns than field goals. Yeah. I love Prater to death, but please, more touchdowns.
Yeah, no, I agree. All right, AZ Sports, I'm going to let you go. I got a couple more people to come on, okay? Have a great day.
You too.
All right, let's go with Jason L. You were live on the AZ Sports Fan on YouTube. Talk to me. How you feeling?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
Good. Can't complain.
Where do I start?
Wherever you want.
I guess with Kyler, I've been his biggest supporter from when he came into the league. Having Cliff as his head coach, maybe not the most ideal coach to start your NFL career with, but ever since the second half of the 2021 season, I don't think he's been the same quarterback. If you want to, I know in a few of your videos I've put some stats relating to 2022 and 2023 where he's basically been anywhere around sort of the 20th in his position from QBR, EPA, passer rating, PFF grades. And I don't know, I'm slowly losing faith in him as our quarterback. And I guess it comes down to when do you want to turn, when do you want to hand the keys off to the next guy? Because the roster's not in a great spot. It really isn't. Like all over the defense, we're missing players, whether it's on the interior, the edge, cornerback especially. And then you look on the offense, not many tall wide receivers. And I don't think a few weeks ago you'd have fans saying, oh, wide receiver's an issue. But now Kyler's back. He's throwing to some smaller guys. Now wide receiver's an issue. Mike Wilson was, the next big thing. And now it's like, oh, we need wide receiver help.
Good point. That's a good point.
That's where has this sort of epiphany come from in the past few weeks? I think it's always been there. And it's just looking at Kyler, I guess, he's been he's a smaller quarterback and he has had injuries and he hasn't been the same player after those injuries. You can go back multiple years when he's picked up an injury and then come back from that injury. He's just not the same player. Yeah. I think calling him an elite, like he was an elite thrower of the football in that 2021 season where he led the league in big time throws, which is a metric. If anyone's listening that's not familiar with that metric, it's throws basically beyond, I think it's 25 or 20 yards down the field. He was number one in that metric during that season. But ever since then, it's just been downhill with the deep ball. Yeah. It's pretty evident that he has trouble seeing over the middle of the field, which is, I guess, why he saw so much success when he was throwing to Nuke or AJ Green on those isolated routes down outside the numbers on the side of the field.
Yeah,
which is where he saw probably his most success as a thrower. And one stat which might be surprising is, I know some people aren't the biggest PFF fans, but if you are, he's never actually had a passing grade above 90. So PFF consider anything above 90 an elite grade. He's never had an elite grade as a thrower. He's had probably a running grade that's considered elite, but he's never actually had a passing grade that's considered elite. And for my money, if you want to win in this league, yes, you can have some cool highlight plays as a runner, but you have to win throwing the ball. Tom Brady made his money. Sorry to cut you off, but he made his money throwing in the intermediate routes of the field and over the middle of the field. So I think there's definitely some areas of concern with him as a thrower. And I think just combining everything, the contract, the wasted rookie deal, it's hard to judge him coming off the injury, but he has been injury prone.
Yep. True.
You just have to take all of that into account. And like I said, I've got a Kyler jersey. I've been the biggest Kyler fan, but I'm first and foremost a fan of the team. Same. So taking all that into account, it's definitely a tricky situation, but I personally would probably look into moving on to, especially if we're picking second or first overall and you've got, prospects like Drake May or Caleb Williams sitting there. Do you just roll the dice and try and get what you can for Kyler? And obviously there's a lot of dead money that first year, but after that it is manageable, and then you can sort of reset the roster going forward.
True. All right, Jason, I'll let you go, brother. Very good call. Thank you for giving me all those stats. That's great. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, let's go BBH and then John Paul. BBH, you are live on the AC Sports Fan here on YouTube. Brother, talk to me. How you feeling? Oh, sorry. John Paul, you're next.
Well, can you hear me first off?
Yeah, I can. Yeah.
All right. I'm sorry, but next week it's gonna be telling for me if Kyler's gonna be ideal, because if he can't put numbers up with the Bears, who struggles in the passing game, then I'm sorry. I love Kyler. You know me. I've been down for Kyler, but it's time for a change. We gave him the doubt last year. It was the coaching. Now this year we got a new coaching, which I think is phenomenal. Game management's there. Drew Petzing is questionable, and I love our defensive coordinator. I think this offseason we probably want to get off of Drew Petzing and then definitely Kyler move off if he doesn't perform against the Bears. I love Kyler, but I don't know. Like he's not consistent anymore. I feel like he's scared to run anymore, and he doesn't want to get injured again because he knows if he gets injured, he's done. And that's
Yeah.
why he was like, even though he was limping off the field, he was trying to get back on the field because he knows that if he's gone and there's concerns, then he's done.
That's what I was kind of trying to allude to one of my last callers. Do you think that there is a fear in Kyler in terms of like, because it is weird, isn't it weird that when you're down so bad, and it's happened on 2 games, in the Rams game and in this one as well, where they're and Jonathan Gannon's like, yeah, just keep going, keep doing your thing. Do you think it's just like they're just trying to pat stats so people are like, oh, we didn't get beat that bad? Do you think that's what it is, or do you think Kyler Murray's fearing his job? Like it's just so weird that we're getting so beaten and we have an injury-prone quarterback and they're just throwing him out there. They're like, all right, go.
Yeah, I think it's the fear factor because if you look MVP conversation, Kyler and Kyler that was making the Pro Bowls and everything like that, he was taking initiative in the game. He was taking control of the game himself. And if there was no throwing lanes, he will find a way to get the ball out or he'll find a way to get yards with his feet. Right now, he's either looking to throw the ball or get rid of the ball away. It's like where he doesn't get hurt.
Yeah.
It's just not there anymore. I don't think he's ready for any of that.
You think he's seeing ghosts like Sam Darnold?
Yeah, I think so. But like, I don't know, man. This is really really weird. It's weird to see Kyler be this off, especially since he felt very confident after last week's game. I was actually very excited for this game, knowing we were not going to win. I thought it was going to be at least competitive.
Yeah.
But no, I think he's just scared. Like as soon as he knows he has a defense that he's able to play against, he's good. But the moment there's like a solid defense that has like a pass rush like the Rams and the 49ers, he just freezes.
Yeah.
And I can't have a quarterback that's like that. If this will be telling with the Bears, if he doesn't throw at least over 250 yards, then I say move off of him. Draft who we can draft. But the thing is, at the same time, I don't want to waste the draft pick for another quarterback when we need an offensive lineman as well.
That's the problem,
Because
man.
there's no point of getting another quarterback if that quarterback is also going to be in distress in the pocket.
Yeah, that's the problem that we're dealing with right now. So we'll
If
see.
we're able to land a big wide receiver in the free agency like a Michael Pittman or T Higgins, then go quarterback. If we can't, then I'm sorry. I say keep Kyler for another year and then get another prospect that's coming in next year. Because I think next year is going to be a few QBs coming in as well.
Yeah, no, for sure. All right, brother. I'm going to let you go, man. Have a great day. Later. All right, let's go with Jean Paul. Take us home. How you feeling? Hey, real quick, I'm sorry. We can't hear you. I'm not sure if you're
Can you hear me?
There you are.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. So my buddy who's been alive, can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. So my buddy who's been a lifetime Cardinal fan brought up a kind of an interesting observation. I feel like I think what they want to do is the reason the play calling is the way that it is because they want to give Kyler Murray as much tape to build off of for next season. They know this season they're not going to win. So they want to give Kyler Murray all these different looks, how the defense are playing him, what he sees, what the tape shows under this offense. Like for me, it doesn't make any sense why you would do that because I want to win. Because there is a formula to Kyler Murray how to win with Kyler Murray. But I think I think like for me, that's what I think is that they're just kind of the play calling is geared towards giving Kyler Murray the experience that he needs so next season he could be better. In terms of him as a quarterback, I want to focus on Dennis Gardeck. He's doing a lot this season, right?
Mm-hmm.
Remember last season after he came back from an ACL tear, he was a ghost. You couldn't see him. It was like John Cena. You can't see me. He's out there, but you can't see me, right? And look at Dennis Gardeck this season. He's everywhere. I think it is a little bit. I do kind of notice a lot of what the fans are saying about Kyler's a little bit off. I do see that it's very apparent, and I think so. So with us seeing that, the fans, I'm sure the front office sees it as well.
Right.
So I'm hoping maybe they would just like get rid of the 5'9" quick guys to just, you know what, if we're gonna go with Kyler, we have to make sure that he has the best position to succeed. So let's get him tall guys. Like a lot of the catches that Trey McBride did a heck of a great job to get those balls.
I agree.
Like they were off. Like
Yeah,
they
different.
were off. And like for me, I feel like Kyler, who is such a natural athlete, everything comes so natural to him. His physical attributes is a big part of his game that, you know, tearing your ACL, there's going to be that adjustment period as to how, you know, kind of like breaking in your new shoe, right? So I think he's still kind of having this, he still kind of need to adjust to playing football the way that he did before, but with a different kind of with different kind of legs because because he tore his ACL and his meniscus.
Right.
So I think that could be the reason why he's been a little bit off. But the good, I'm kind of in the minority in a sense when someone said, "Oh, he's been inconsistent." Inconsistent. What the inconsistency tells me is that he has good games and bad games, but more importantly, that he has good games, like the Steeler game. He did show some flashes there. So I think right now, like for me, yeah, I'm kind of, I can't really compare him to Mahomes because Mahomes is a Hall of Fame offensive coach. Okay. And so Andy Reid knows, I mean, Andy Reid made who's it, Garcia from San Francisco? He made him into like a Pro Bowl playing quarterback. You know, he made Alex Smith into a Pro Bowler. So that guy is a quarterback savant. So we can't, you know, Kyler doesn't have that. Kyler does not have a Hall of Fame tight end. He has a good tight end that we can see, but he doesn't have a Hall of Fame tight end. Like you have to look at every single variables for, you know, I know we're stuck in the fields right now because we plainly suck, but you know, it's just like for me, I look at Kyler, who's 5'10" quarterback. I compare him to guys like, you know, Baker Mayfield or the smaller guys, Drew Brees, or you know, or the guy from Carolina that sucks so bad.
Bryce Young. Oh yeah, they're the
Bryce
worse
Young.
than we are for sure.
He's like, when he got drafted, I told people he's not going to be able to gain weight because he's built like a cornerback. Kyler is built like a running back. But in terms of my like for me, I'm more of a wait and see approach. I love Kyler. I love seeing the maturity, but someone put up a good point that I think this is who he is. Like I don't think he'll ever be that great quote unquote quarterback. I don't think he'll ever be a Brock Purdy. I don't think he'll ever be like any of these guys that can beat you by understanding leverage, understanding the nuances of the game. But I think he can make plays like a Deshaun Watson, like a Russell Wilson, like, you know, those guys that, you know, for them, like they're more of a splashy quarterbacks. I know people are kind of afraid of that, but I'm like, you know, people have said, oh, Brock Purdy, you know, people missed out on Brock Purdy. People don't understand that Brock Purdy, kind of like Mahomes, was put in a good situation because he found the only coach that could maximize his skill set. So that is the key to this, is finding a person that could maximize Kyler Murray's skill set. The problem is that we don't know whether or not where we could find that coach. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than be smart, right? I think Shanahan was more lucky than smart because if you kind of look at Purdy, like every game you look, Purdy doesn't beat you. Purdy knows which one of his guys can beat you. Like today it was CMC because we didn't have any quarterback. Next week it could be Kelsey. The week after that it could be Debo. Next week it could be Ayuk. It could be different guys because, as I said, he's this guy that is cerebral. He knows that, look, it's my guy versus, I look at it simply, it's my guy versus your guy. You know, if you have a weak if you don't have a good inside linebacker and Kittle's burning you every time, he's just gonna look for Kittle. He's gonna make it seem, they're gonna, it's a good. So basically, like, they're pretty much the offensive version of Brady and Belichick, right? You know what I mean? Like, where it's just such a good synergy that they maximize each other's, each other, both the coach and quarterback.
So let me get in here real quick. So you're saying that this coaching staff probably doesn't have the tools to help out Kyler Murray? Is that what you're saying?
I think right now they're trying to figure out what Kyler Murray can do well in this offense. So there's going to be some offensive play calls that you're going to say, oh, Petsing, why didn't you do that more? Why didn't you do that more? But why did you do this over this? I think they see, the thing is, Kyler Murray has been playing the same type of offense with Cliff Kingsbury as he did in Oklahoma, the air raid. So they don't really have any tape of him doing anything else. So what I'm thinking is that if I was Petsing, I was JG, this year is gonna be a tryout year anyways. Whoever plays well stays, whoever doesn't leaves. But Kyler, whether or not we like it or not, whether or not he plays good or not, we have no choice but to find a way to make him play well, because we already paid him that contract, and our boss is not gonna get rid of him because of that contract. Like, yeah. I'm with you, fans. Like, I'm kind of thing concerned me about, but at the end of the day, it's Bidwell that's like, you know what? You ain't writing the checks. I am. So this dude's saying right here.
That's true. No, good call on that. Yeah.
Yeah, and but yeah, as far as, but we have some. The good news is we're 2-3. We have the toughest schedule in the second half of the NFL. I still believe we can steal one from Philadelphia. I think the whole thing with Kyler, we'll know more next year if he does improve. His athleticism does seem like in some instances that it's back, but at the same time, it just takes a while for him to get back. He's not doing it consistently, but maybe that's from the curve, that kind of learning curve of just adjusting to playing football with a different, with after he tore his ACL. But I mean, we actually have a lot of things to be excited about. I mean, I know I hate being 3-10, but we could have easily been 6-8,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that's the problem. I think we're always like, let's wing it. Like, I think that's the problem. We don't have anybody that has the answer. And I get it. I don't think most people have the answer. I think they're lucky, right? I think a lot of people get lucky. They're like, oh, it's working. But like, that's the problem. The Arizona Cardinals wait and they wait and it doesn't work. And we lose years and years. I ain't getting any younger. Are we Super Bowl? You know what I mean? Are we just going to wait for these bid bulls to, I think that's kind of the end of the day, but I'll let you go. John Paul, thank you so very much, man. Good conversation. Later.
All right. Good. All right. Bye.
Oh yeah, no, good calls all around. I see a lot of people's, where their mind is going, right, where the gears are turning. I don't think we're gonna beat Philly. I personally don't. I see the only winnable game here is probably gonna be the Bears. The only winnable game, and even now, I do agree with the people in the chat that said that if we can't put up numbers against the Bears, now I get it. The Bears are playing better. I get that, but if we can't. This conversation is just going to continue, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to continue. And here's the thing. Kyler Murray isn't happy with his play. Do you agree? Listen to Kyler Murray in these post-game shows. Kyler Murray is not happy with his play. As fans, what should we do? Close our eyes and be like, oh, you're fine. You're great. You don't have any weapons. Kyler Murray sets himself to a level that he should be a franchise quarterback. He said it himself. He needs to prove why he's getting paid that money. He needs to prove why he was chosen first overall. He needs to prove it. Kyler Murray said it. He's not happy about his showings, right? Why should we? Why should we? We see the exact same thing that Kyler Murray sees, right? Obviously, loses. Things are being put under a microscope, right? Everything's getting dissected. When you win, a lot of stuff is being put under a rug, right? Swept away. We don't ever talk about it ever again because why? Winning cures all. But I'm not going to lie to you. The Steelers game, he wasn't good either. It was just the James Conner show that game. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be closing up shop here. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. All the people that chimed in and obviously gave your opinion. Thank you so very much. Obviously, this is for a therapy session for most Cardinal fans to come in here and just kind of shoot the SHIT and kind of, powwow with each other. Because at the end of the day, all we kind of really got is each other, ladies. And let's call it like it is. I know there's some Cardinal fans that want to move off. There's some Cardinal fans that, want to write it out one more year. I get it all, right? We're in a crappy situation. Our roster looks really, really bad. We weren't going to win this game, and I think most of us already know we weren't going to win this game. But we want to see our franchise quarterback be a franchise quarterback. And so far right now, I'm worried. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm worried. BBH with the contribution, he says him saying is different. He should show it. I agree. And I 100% agree. 100% agree. All right, y'all. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. As always, thank you so very much for tuning in. Have a great rest of your night. Thank you so very much for spending an hour with me. Have a great rest of your day as always. Okay.